Bienvenidos. Estas son las noticias más destacadas de la OEA. Esto es OEA News, el informativo de la Organización de los Estados Americanos. Es momento de compartir los títulos de las noticias más importantes que vamos a estar brindando a ustedes.
Décima gala de los Premios al Liderazgo para las Américas. El secretario general presentó actualización de la hoja de ruta sobre Haití y llamó a actuar con urgencia. El secretario general de la OEA se reunió con el subsecretario del Estado de Italia. El Departamento de Accesos a Derecho de la OEA participó en la Feria de Emprendimientos. El secretario general de la OEA, Albert Ramdin, participó de la décima gala de los Premios al Liderazgo para las Américas.
Thank you very much, Rebecca, and good evening to all. I see so many friends, prominent diplomats, figures related to the inter-American system. I'm very happy that the Inter-American Dialogues decided to host this event, to organize this event in this one of the most beautiful venues in Washington, D.C. I'm not saying that too loud, but you're always welcome. I do wish to recognize some of our colleagues here. Senator Dodd, happy to see you again. Somehow I and this building cannot forget Peter Hakim. So thank you very much for being present. And Michael Jensen, who sits next to me, representing the government of the United States. Thank you. And I'm leaving the rest because with most of you I spoke already. So thank you very much, all friends, to be here. It's great to have you. And it's great that I can join you today as Secretary General of the Organization of American States, which in my view, and I'm a firm believer of inter-Americanism and multilateralism, is the cornerstone in the Americas of multilateralism and democratic cooperation in our Americas. We should never forget that. The OES is the premier intergovernmental entity to bring countries together, to solve problems, to work together, and to make this hemisphere much better. So let me begin by expressing my sincere appreciation to Rebecca Bill Chavez, President of the Inter-American Development Dialogue, the Inter-American Development Bank, that will come, but the Inter-American Dialogue for now. Rebecca, your leadership, as we have been experiencing, that continues to elevate the dialogue as a space for meaningful exchange and bold ideas. Thank you very much for your vision and commitment to the Americas. And in an interview which I was asked to do earlier on, your colleagues asked me what is the value of the Inter-American Dialogue. And my closing sentence was, and I'm sure you're going to quote that because it helps you, I said, the relationship between the Inter-American Dialogue and the Organization of American States for many decades has been so strong and relevant that I consider the Inter-American Dialogue as part of the Inter-American system. That's not an official title, because I'm not allowed to do that, but in practice, that is what is happening. I also warmly acknowledge the presence of Ambassador Callahills and Thomas McClarty, whose legacy in advancing hemispheric trade and diplomacy particularly has played a pivotal role in successful negotiations, as Rebecca mentioned, on the North American Free Trade Agreement. I think that's important. And in today's world, the private sector, in my leadership, will play a critical role in advancing prosperity in the Americas. We need to bring the private sector of the Americas together, invest more within the Americas, trade more with each other. We are not doing well in that regard. But when I close my chapter here, I want to see that increase. It's only 15% right now. It must increase. And that will create wealth, that will create jobs, that will create income, that will create security, strengthen democracy, fight organized crime, mitigate migration, we all will benefit from it. Private sector has to be part of the paradigm of creating a better Americas. I did not acknowledge Ambassador Thomas Shannon, who is right next to the honoree, whose leadership and service to the Americas has been phenomenal. Thank you very much. We have worked together in the OES when you were at the State Department, and still you're contributing to the Americas. Thank you very much. Although mentioned already, but Monica Aspie, CEO of AT&T Mexico, congratulations on this honor which is going to be bestowed on you. Your leadership is a testament, in our view, not only for women, but is the power of perseverance and strategic clarity. We spoke a little bit earlier how Mexico is doing, but I think it's important that we recognize the qualities of leaders, that even if you have issues, even if everything is not going well, you find the solutions and continue, persevere. And that is what you have demonstrated and for which you are being honored. So thank you very much. And you know, I want to take this quality of perseverance and finding solutions, not staying with problems, but looking for opportunities. I want to take it to a higher level of the inter-American system, our own hemisphere. The ability to adapt, to learn, and to persist is exactly what we need to confront our challenges today in this hemisphere. And Rebecca said it, polarization, a very diverse, if we want to use a neutral term, a very diverse, challenging environment in the Western Hemisphere. Currently, we have not experienced this ever before. I've been involved with the OES for 25 years. This is a time when unity is so critically important and which is lacking currently. So I hope that those who can provide that unity also listen to what is being said today. So, you know, we need to do a lot of things. This hemisphere has to catch up on what we do now in terms of building unity, creating a better economic environment, but also on the cutting edge side of technology. The challenges which we will face as a hemisphere, which the globe will face in terms of cybersecurity, in terms of data analysis, data-driven decision making, AI. We need to not wait until others are delivering those services. We need to creatively create those solutions and sell them outside. For too long, the hemisphere has been dependent on what happens outside the hemisphere and not what we are creating. This is a task for the membership, not only of governments, but of the private sector. I have promised, and we have delivered on that already, of working with the Latin American private sector and the US-based North American private sector. Together with Lee Lipton and Leandro Risuto, the new representatives to the OES, we are working in mobilizing that effort. That is the only way to create sustained economic prosperity. That's the only way to deliver on what the people of the Americas expect, social and economic values, and a secure life for the future. Nothing else. So I hope we all understand that we have a lot of work to do. Today is not specifically maybe the time to talk about it, but it's good to relay that to you. We have lots of geopolitical issues in the world. I have made it known the OES is not going to be part of that geopolitical discussion. We don't want to be part of that. Let that be at the global level. We're going to monitor that, but we're not going to be part of it. And that's a choice we make simply because otherwise we will not be able to find solutions. And we want solutions in the hemisphere. Well, so let me go back to the Inter-American dialogue. I think your role, together with other think tanks, is so critically important to make sure that what we do not discuss or what we need to be challenged on comes to the table. And we had several discussions at the dialogue. I'm always available to come and talk and dialogue, be challenged as well, and make sure that we hit the right tone in the discourse of making the Americas better, whether it's positive or negative. And let's be frank and open about it. So we must work for the people. Democracy must work for the people. And in a way, I feel that what the Americas needs is simply a little bit of simplicity in how we govern countries. The people do not want anything else than a job, a steady income, a secure environment, and a future for the children. Nothing else. If political leaders would understand that and stop arguing with each other, then we can get a long way. And we can do things for the Americas and make this hemisphere prosperous, strong, stable, an example to the world. So all I say is the Americas needs a bright and promising sunrise. A new day, a new direction, one of unity, one of peace, one of prosperity. And if we can do and achieve that, I'm sure that we all will have wonderful, wonderful days ahead, and possibly also next year, the same event here at the OES. Thank you very much. Wish you all a great evening.
El secretario general de la Organización de los Estados Americanos, Albert Ramdin, presentó ante el Consejo Permanente de la institución la actualización de la hoja de ruta para la estabilidad y la paz en Haití, el plan comprensivo para devolver la estabilidad a Haití y poner al país en el camino al desarrollo y la prosperidad, que cuenta con amplio apoyo internacional y cuya primera versión fue presentada en agosto. Además, formuló un llamado a actuar con urgencia al subrayar que el tiempo se acaba y que los Estados miembros y socios deben intensificar nuestros compromisos en términos reales para pasar de las intenciones a acciones concretas que alivien el sufrimiento de la población haitiana y sienten bases de estabilidad, democracia y esperanza bajo liderazgo haitiano y con coordinación internacional efectiva. El secretario general señaló la gravedad del momento y la necesidad de decisiones inmediatas. El tiempo apremia, debemos actuar con urgencia y con compromisos concretos para apoyar al pueblo haitiano y ayudar a restablecer la estabilidad, la democracia y la esperanza, afirmó. Al mismo tiempo, advirtió sobre la dinámica en el terreno, indicando que observamos que las pandillas operan con aparente libertad, lo que hace más urgente acelerar los procesos de coordinación y despliegue. El secretario general Ramdin precisó que la OEA mantiene un diálogo estrecho con el liderazgo haitiano y una coordinación permanente con la ONU, CARICOM y socios clave para traducir las prioridades haitianas en acciones operativas y verificables. En su intervención, el secretario general explicó que actualmente las conversaciones de la OEA con los principales actores de apoyo a Haití, incluyendo las autoridades políticas haitianas, se centran en 3 líneas de acción inmediata. Primero, avanzar en la seguridad, con puesta en marcha, la coordinación y el seguimiento de la fuerza de supresión de pandillas. Segundo, el diálogo político y arreglos de gobernanza más allá de febrero de 2026. Y tercero, preparación y apoyo electoral. El secretario general de la OEA, Albert Ramdin, tuvo una fructífera conversación con el secretario del Estado de Italia, Giorgio Zilli. Durante el encuentro, las autoridades hablaron sobre los fuertes lazos de Italia con la región latinoamericana y el Caribe y su papel vital en el fortalecimiento de las relaciones entre Europa y las Américas. Ramdin también expresó que esperan fortalecer aún más el compromiso de Italia con la OEA en materia de democracia, seguridad, derechos humanos y desarrollo y promover intercambios más estrechos entre personas. El Departamento de Accesos a Derecho de la OEA participó en la Feria de Emprendimientos de Mujeres, atendidas por el Mecanismo de Protección a Personas Desplazadas en Honduras, cuyo objetivo es promover su autonomía económica y reconocer su resiliencia y talento.
Estas han sido las noticias más relevantes de la OEA, la Organización de los Estados Americanos. Esto ha sido OEA News. Nos reencontramos en la próxima jornada.